Hey everybody, quick little update on the 3D printer build status here. Spent a little bit of time working on things yesterday. Pulled the extruder back apart so I could hob the bolt. I think things ended up working out pretty well there, as you can see. If I can get it to focus. There we are. So I got the bolt hobbed, did a quick little test. It looks like this is going to work great. As far as how I was able to do that, what I ended up doing was obviously stripping everything off of the main extruder block, left just that bolt in there. I drilled out the top filament feed hole a little bit so that I could fit the tap through there, and basically used this extruder block as a jig to hold the bolt in place as the tap did its thing and cut the grooves into the bolt. So all in all, it actually ended up working out very well. I did end up breaking one tap in the process just because I got a little overzealous, but fortunately I had a second tap on hand. I was able to finish it up, and I think it worked out great, so I'm very pleased with that. Today I'm waiting to get some new bolts for these 4 holes here. That's what holds the idler block on. The way the kit comes by default, they're just a bit too short in my opinion. You end up having to tighten them to the point where the springs are fully compressed, or about 90% so, and there's just so much tension between the idler block and this little drive bolt, it's virtually impossible to insert filament into the extruder. So by going with a longer bolt, I'm also going to get some wing nuts so that I can adjust the tension, so I could back it off if necessary to load, and then adjust it back to where it needs to be for printing. So looking forward to that. I did have to end up going with an M4 bolt because M3s really top out at a max length of around 50 millimeters, I think, which is what about what the kit had to begin with. So M4s allowed me to jump up to 60 millimeters, so I'll have plenty of extra room. As far as the heated bed, got this installed yesterday. That was pretty simple. I think I either didn't receive or misplaced the little nylon spacers that came with it. So I ran out to the local home improvement store yesterday and was able to get some nylon spacers there. I did end up going with some that were slightly larger outside diameter, hoping it would give me just a little bit of extra stability, and I'm definitely pleased with how that worked out. Also got the power wire soldered to the heated bed. 12 gauge wire, so it can handle plenty of current. Not necessarily 100% happy with this particular wire. I may end up replacing this for some wire which has finer strands inside of it. What you end up with in that case is a wire that's a lot more flexible. I'm a little concerned that this might hinder the y-axis movement a little bit, but I'm going to give it some tests and see exactly what happens. You know, it could work out just fine. We'll see. Other than that, the controller board here, the Gen 6 that I'm using, actually does not have any connection for the heated bed. Now, the instructions call to essentially just connect the heated bed directly to the power supply and let it run at full power, which does work in theory. I did some tests yesterday. It will ramp up in temp. It reaches a certain saturation point when it doesn't get any warmer. And it does a pretty good job of maintaining that temperature, but I suspect it's going to be a little bit warmer than I'd actually like it to be. So adding a temperature control will give me a little bit finer controller on that. Other than that, initial tests yesterday, I noticed when you first power up the heated bed, it pulls about 15 amps. But once it reaches that thermal saturation point, I guess we'll call it, it ends up fluctuating around 9.5 amps, give or take. So not bad. Not bad at all. So overall, when this thing's printing, you know, I'm guessing maybe it'll pull 11, 12 amps. Not too bad. So that's basically where we are with the build status. Today, like I said, should be getting those bolts and pretty much everything else I need to complete the build. So hopefully within a couple days we'll have a video of some of our first test prints. So there you have it. Alright, thanks for watching, and stay tuned for future updates.